Hello everyone, this is Hakaym and welcome back to another episode of Funday Sunday. And this episode is pretty much going to be target selection and why that is a real high priority in World of Warships. Now I know I'm not the first YouTuber, and this probably isn't the first video that's ever talked about target selection, but I think this is really a good lesson for everyone, especially if anyone's new to World of Warships or hasn't been playing for very long. Target selection is highly important. Now I am taking out the tier 7 Nelson because there's been a mission on with regarding British ships getting fires, and what else better to do than take the Nelson out on the high seas and cause a little bit of fire. I am joined with a few of my clanmates, No Game in the Scharnhorst and Sweet Potato in the Bliskovica. I'm probably still mispronouncing that. I've been taught how to say that, but I still am probably mispronouncing that. Now, obviously the Nelson is... a lot of people consider her ugly. I don't think she's ugly. I kind of like the way the Nelson looks. So, starting off, this battle is playing on Land of Fire. We're playing Standard Battle. Standard Battle is unique compared to Domination, where your objective is to capture points and gain points to reach 1,000. Standard Battle is not the case. It's either kill all or cap out the enemy base, because you can never reach 1,000 points in the time limit allotted. So that's a huge conundrum if you're just trying to rely on capturing or gaining points just to win. Not gonna happen. So starting off, Nelson, like I said, I like the Nelson. It's a great fire starter. Its AP is phenomenal, very beneficial. Now this battle is not really going to be focusing on me per se, but what's going to happen, you'll see. You'll understand what I'm saying here in a little bit. So we are pushing up towards the eastern side. For the most part, the enemy team doesn't seem to be really doing much. Now this is a tier 8 battle. There are 2 carriers in this battle. There's a tier 8 and a tier 6. So that is something to keep in mind. There's actually a lot of aerial control, and that's going to play a very crucial part in this game. So at the moment, the enemy team isn't really doing hell of a lot right now. They're actually kind of abandoning the eastern flank, allowing us to push up it. At the exact same time, they're actually pushing quite heavily on the western flank. And guess what? Our team is kind of lemon training over to the eastern flank, which is essentially playing merry-go-round with the enemy team. You'll probably know what's going to happen here, as many veterans may be watching this video. So we're going to try to get in there and finally have a shipping range, which is the QE. And QE, I'm not an overly big fan of British battleships. I really think Wargaming did a disservice to the British battleships, but we do get double fires on that Queen Elizabeth and do a nice beautiful chunk of damage of almost 8,000 points of damage there. So overall, not too bad. And we're just gonna steam ahead because why the hell not? The enemy team isn't really doing much on the eastern flank, which is allowing us to push up. Now, unfortunately for Sweet, he is currently being focused by the enemy players, and he's already lost nearly half his health. Now, this is gonna actually play a really big role here in the future. Queen Elizabeth is still burning nicely, and there's the enemy Icarus. And the enemy team, I will have to say, is actually going to do a pretty fantastic job as far as kind of holding us back as much as possible. Get another hit on the Queen Elizabeth. No fires, unfortunately, which is highly unfortunate because I believe this objective required having about 100,000 points of damage in fires, something like that. Now, we've already lost our destroyer. The Icarus has gone down in the middle. His positioning was very close to the enemy cap. So we're already down 1 ship. The Queen Elizabeth is probably going to go down. He is being focused down by all of us, landing a few hits, but not too much damage. And we're going to start trying to push up. Now, our clan is being aggressive because I mean, you need to be aggressive sometimes, and you have to know when to push and when not to push. And doing this will ensure that you can at least obtain a victory. Going to get hit by the Shikaku. Let's see how much damage. Very negligible there. Hardly any damage. Hipper is still kind of a pain for us, but he is currently running away. Now, we do know there is also an Icarus somewhere, and we've also already lost a battleship because, as I did mention earlier, the enemy team is actually pushing quite heavily on the western flank. They do have at least 4 ships plus the carriers defending their cap, while we only have a lone little Fiji way out on the western flank, and he's essentially going up against a Leon, Colorado, a Key, a Hipper, and a Shiratsu. So yeah, things are going to be a little bit dicey. Now, destroyer players, this is very important. Destroyer players are, I want to say, they're a high value target because they're low detect, their huge impact in the battle allows them to be something that is very capable of possibly capping out. And we've already lost our Fiji to the Miyoko's torpedoes, and as you can see on the mini map, we have a Shiratsuyu going towards our cap. Now we are actually going to split up here. Sweet is actually gonna try to head back here in a little bit, and No Game is definitely turning around and going back to defend our cap. And once again, standard battle, if you lose your cap, you lose the game. Now keep in mind, to fully cap out a base to 100% is approximately 3 minutes. So it is going to take a little bit of time for an enemy player to fully cap out your base. And that's going to play very crucial because that does allow you time to get over there to defend it if you're a fast enough ship. Or if you're a carrier who has planes that can go 175 knots, a little bit less of an issue for them. Fortunately for us, we're not gonna actually eat a torpedo, but as you can see, the enemy Shiratsuyu is currently in our cap. Now our CVs are harassing that Shiratsuyu. They are spotting them, but as you can see, none of our ships are over there to really counteract that Shiratsuyu. So he's going to probably get away, especially due to the fact that the CV player is currently using torp planes to try to harass the enemy Shiratsuyu, and that's not particularly easy to land a torpedo against a destroyer. Not impossible, but a little bit of an issue. Now our team has managed to bring back 1 ship. Well, we're still down 1 ship, and they still have 2 destroyers. We do know where both of them are. We know the Icarus is up by us, and we know that the Shiratsuyu is down south. Now at the moment, like I said, the carriers are actually doing their job. They're focusing down the Shiratsuyu, which is really good. But at the exact same time, we're losing ships. The Alba just went down to the enemy Shikaku, who once again has AP bombs and can do pretty sizable amount of damage. Now we do know there's a destroyer around, so I'm going to be a little bit cautious in pushing towards the cap. Now we have actually managed to push into their cap, but there's still the Icarus, there's still the Hipper, there's still obviously both the carriers and a Pensacola. So they have at least somebody around to reset whenever we're in cap. And obviously the Icarus is in cap because we're not actually capping out the point yet. So that's something to keep in mind. Now I could probably switch over to AP, and I actually finally do. Switched over AP because that Hipper was showing us broadside, but he's instead actually going to turn in and just going to be a pain to deal with. Do need to at least get rid of some of these ships. Now we are starting to cap. We actually do have a Cleveland and Massachusetts, both are which have really good AA to at least shoot down some planes, but we're constantly being reset. And the enemy team is now pushing towards our cap, the Key, the Miyoko, the Shiratsuyu, and the Leon, which all have really good AA. So they're going to at least be able to shoot down some planes. Now we do have No Game. He has pushed down towards our cap, and at least is doing his very best to deal with the enemy players pushing in towards our cap. And once again, trying to be actually a little bit careful. Now the carriers, surprisingly, as I just had a voice crack, sorry about that. Carriers surprisingly aren't really going after me all that much. I think from this point onward, I don't think they actually go after me anymore. They focused down the Massachusetts, and the Cleveland finally got rid of that hipper. And at this point, we're gonna try to cap out, but there's now the Colorado coming in, so now we have to deal with the Colorado. And there's still the Icarus, and there's still that Pensacola, and obviously the carriers. So right now I'm actually going to turn back the other way. No point pushing towards the enemy players. Try to get a little bit of distance, just so I can actually try to cap out. Now our base is about a quarter capped out at the moment. Miyoko is starting to get focused down. He's been pushing quite heavily. Finally goes down to our friendly CV. And now the Leon and the Key are in there. And the Shiratsuyu. Now this is where I really want to stress, especially if you're a carrier player with the ability to spot enemy ships, such as a destroyer, focus down the destroyer, because the Key, the Leon, can be spotted. They have a very huge detect that even our friendly Bliskovica player can spot them. Now Sweet is pushing down towards our cap. Now you could probably argue that our two battleships, both the Scharnhorst and the Fuso, could probably actually push into the cap. And honestly, I think they probably could have. But once again, there is still a Shiratsuyu in there, which can be kind of an issue. So do have to be a little bit cautious. And look at this, we're actually about 50 seconds. Well, got reset, unfortunately. So we're actually fairly close to capping out the current base, if it weren't for the fact that there were still obviously the CVs, the Pensacola, and the Icarus around, plus that Colorado is not helping issues. But right now, keep an eye on what the CV players are doing, especially their current focus as far as the target selection. Now once again, all the battleships can be spotted. The only one that is difficult to spot is that Shiratsuyu, and the Shiratsuyu can actually outspot Sweet there, and Sweet's not particularly healthy, so he does have to be a little bit cautious when pushing into the cap, and he's actually going to push in the cap and try to stall the point add up right now. So he's doing his level best to get over there. I'm still trying to deal with the Colorado, and look, we're so close. We had almost 30 seconds less to fully cap out the enemy team, and once again, having a little bit of issue with the fact that the CVs can constantly reset us, but we have no one really that is extremely stealthy. Now the Key and the Leon actually almost fully popped out of our cap. But keep an eye. Currently, I don't even know which squadron that is. They're going after the Leon and Kia. Now, I don't think I can actually zoom in. I don't think the Shiratsuyu is currently in smoke, and is obviously very susceptible to be hit. Now, Sweet does smoke up, because obviously he is concerned about the Shiratsuyu spotting him. So at the moment, Sweet is actually in a favorable position. There's no one really to spot him. If only someone with planes could spot the enemy Shiratsuyu. And this is the whole point of this video, is to know who to focus down, especially in this situation. In this situation, we have to get rid of that destroyer, or else we are going to lose this cap. And you probably can guess that we were going to unfortunately lose this because the enemy team is constantly resetting us. Our Cleveland is getting focused down, our Massachusetts is low on health, and I'm decently healthy, but if they push Sweet out of that cap, which they're starting to do right now, they're probably going to cap out any time. Now, once again, we could have done things a little bit different. Hindsight's always 20/20. Our Scharnhorst, our Fuso could have pushed into the enemy cap. Hell, even I could have pushed southward and put pressure on the enemy team. I make mistakes. Everyone makes mistakes. But currently, the CVs just probably could have actually spotted that destroyer, but they did not, and that is going to be a loss for us because no one spotting that destroyer, and that's Shiratsu, has all the cap points, and we're gonna lose our Cleveland here. We're about to lose our Cleveland right now. Our Massachusetts low on health. Granted, the CV planes are very low on health. Key finally gets killed by No Game. The Leon is extraordinarily low on health. But once again, the target that should have been focused on was the Shiratsu. And the Shiratsu is going to fully cap out our base. That is going to be, sadly, a loss, especially when we lose both Sweet and the Cleveland. So, yes. Main point of this video, target selection is crucial. Because if you don't, we're going to lose. Because once again, that destroyer is still left alive in our cap and has fully capped us out. So, quick little tidbit on anyone playing World of Warships. Target selection is a main focus. Destroyers, especially carriers, if you are playing focused on destroyers, because they are very crucial in World of Warships. But that is going to be it for this video. Thank you guys so much for watching. If you like what you saw, hit the like and subscribe button. You guys have a great and fantastic day. Side Gen.